The verdict is in, and it's a win for Prince Harry in his phone hacking lawsuit against several British tabloids. The judge awarding the Duke of Sussex $180,000 this morning. It's been a long time coming for that money. Harry became the first British royal in over 130 years to appear as a witness in court when he took the stand to testify against the Mirror Group, claiming journalists illegally hacked into his phone for years. Harry told the court the intrusion into his life ruined his relationship with a former girlfriend and, more importantly, his brother, Prince William. Let's bring in British royals commentator and global business analyst, Hilary Fordwich. We love speaking to you, and thank you for joining us for your expertise. So Prince Harry, he was seeking $550,000 in damages, so he's not getting that much out of it. But does this win bring him some much-needed positive press?
Well, Adrienne, pleasure to be back with you too. And a few things here. Yes, it does. But I would say this is actually a token award by the justice there, the judge, our fan court, because you're right, that's how much he was expecting to receive and wanted to receive. He only received, as you mentioned, $180,000, about £140,000, which is really a fraction of what he wanted. Also, the ruling only agreed with 15 of the 33 cases that he said that where he'd been phone hacked. All the rest was public information, and indeed many other people had spoken on these issues prior to them being reported on. So it is a very limited, I would call it, in the exact words of the judge, a modest agreement with that Prince Harry had brought and Prince Harry had claimed. And the sad thing, I think, Adrienne, is with regard to positive press, if he had not, over the recent years, released a lot of information about himself, given us private tidbits in his autobiography and in his documentaries, I think the public generally in the UK and the US would have had far more sympathy and empathy with somebody who wanted to remain private versus spilling the beans and private information on himself.
Lots of spilling the beans with that book Spare that came out. But even prior to that, you know, winning the case is one thing, but when he broke with tradition, becoming that first royal since the 1890s to take the stand, is that being seen in Britain as sort of the slipping down a muddy creek bank, so to speak, in separating from his family?
Well, you put it very well there. Yes, 132 years. And he is, yes, looked at as getting down in the mud. Actually, I will use the phrase. It's not my personal phrase, but the phrase that they use in the UK. They call him the ginger whinger. Whinger in the UK meaning sort of somebody who constantly whines. Ooh. So the ginger whinger. And I think that's the issue. And sadly, here in the US, where, of course, they were welcomed with open arms, and in the UK, I think people think, well, the Americans will certainly accept far more of this because we don't have a royal family. But here in the US, we know what South Park did in terms of making fun of them. And just this week, they received an award from the Hollywood Reporter, considered the Bible of Hollywood. And it was, by the reporter there, they're claimed to be, he and his wife, the biggest losers this year. And that's very sad for dear Prince Harry.
Yeah, dear Prince Harry. Hilary Fordwich, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.